Hello, boys and girls. Mrs. Jones here with our geometry lesson for today. Okay, we're starting a new unit, so we're doing geometry. Geometry is math that is about figures and shapes, and so we are going to start with some vocabulary. So let's look right up here. All right, these two vocabulary words should be familiar to you from science with Mrs. Nichols. Okay, the first one is attribute, which also a synonym is characteristic. Attribute is a specific characteristic of an object, like its size, its shape, or its color. And we're going to be focusing on shape today. When we talk about figures, a lot of times we say shape. All right, the shape is the form or the outline of an area or an object. Now, you have been doing figures since you were in pre-K kindergarten, so some of these that we're going to be working on, especially today, are going to be very familiar to you. We're going to start with two-dimensional figures. Two-dimensional figures are a shape that we think of as flat. Okay, they don't have a thickness. They're not solid, we sometimes say. They are flat. Another math word for two-dimensional figures is plane figures, and sometimes we just say they're 2D with a capital D. All right, so let's talk about two-dimensional figures. All right, when we take two-dimensional figures, we can divide them into two groups based on their characteristics or their attributes. A polygon is a two-dimensional shape that has straight lines, all straight lines, and it's closed. That means there are no openings or no gaps in the lines. A non-polygon is a two-dimensional shape with curved lines or with openings. All right, now let me give you just an example. All right, a polygon would be like a triangle. Straight lines, no openings. All right, that means there's no holes in the line or gaps in the line. Okay, a non-polygon might have a curved line, so we would think of a circle as a non-polygon, or if you have a shape that has an opening or a gap in it, that is also a non-polygon. All right, I'm going to draw some shapes on the board, and what I want you to do is, if it is a polygon, I want you to give me a thumbs up, and if it is a nonagon, do a thumbs down. All right, so here's our first one. Polygon, non-polygon. Okay, that is a polygon. Straight sides and it's closed. Okay, polygon, non-polygon. All right, this is a non-polygon because it has a curved line. Polygon, non-polygon. Polygon, straight sides, no gaps. Okay, polygon, non-polygon. This is a non-polygon because it has a gap. All right, so what you might want to do at some time today, if you have extra pieces of paper, the back of paper, you might want to draw some different polygons or even draw some different non-polygons and show them to someone in your family. Remember, it doesn't matter how many sides. For instance, let's look at this one. This is a polygon. All the sides are straight and it is closed. So you can come up with all different kinds of polygon shapes. All right, that's kind of fun. All right, now let's think about what polygons. We're going to be talking mostly about polygons. For us, the main non-polygon that we talk about is a circle. Okay, sometimes you might talk about an oval, and we do that some, but for us, the circle is going to be our main non-polygon. The rest of the time, we are mostly going to be dealing with just polygons. All right, so we have several familiar polygons, and one thing they all have in common, okay, all polygons have sides, those straight lines. And where the straight lines come together, they have a point called a corner or a vertex. So if I were to draw this polygon, these are the sides, okay? Sides are easy. The straight sides, and these are the corners or the vertices. Vertex is singular, vertices is plural, where the two sides come together anywhere where they come together at a point, that's called a corner. All right, so now some familiar two-dimensional figures that are polygons. Okay, triangle. A lot of times we think of triangle like this. A triangle can also be like this. Okay, it also can be very skinny. All right, those are all triangles because triangles have how many sides? Yes, three. Three sides. They also have three corners, three vertices. All right, now we're going to skip 4 for just a minute, and we're going to go to 5. All right, a 5-sided polygon is called a pentagon, and we usually think of a pentagon drawn like a house. It does not have to be, all right? It could be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as it has 5 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 vertices or corners, this is called a pentagon. P-E-N-T-A-G-O-N. Pentagon. I want you to look right here. We're going to see, Mrs. Jones didn't do that quite right. We're going to see a lot of polygons ending with the gon sound, the letters G-O-N. I want us to look at this, penta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Penta has 5 letters, and so does the shape. The shape has 5 sides, so you can remember P-E-N-T-A, 5 letters. It's a 5-sided figure. It's kind of one of those little things you can stick in your head to help you. All right, so we have a triangle with 3 sides, a pentagon with 5 sides, and then the next one we're going to talk about is the other familiar one we see. Mrs. Jones has a little hard time drawing, is a hexagon. 6 sides and 6 corners or vertices. Okay, 6, and it's called a hexagon. Now, the way that we can remember hexagon means 6 is look at this letter right here. It has an X in it. Okay, what does the number word 6 have in it? It also has an X, all right? These are the only one with an X in it. So when you see an X, you think 6. A hexagon has 6 sides and 6 vertices or corners. Okay, and then the last one that I'm going to draw for today is this one. To think about this one a little more. Okay, not perfect, but it has 8 sides and 8 vertices or 8 corners. Okay, this is called an octagon. Okay, again, we have that G-O-N, octagon, pentagon, hexagon, but I want us to look at this. Okay, this is another little trick to help you remember that octagon means 8. All right, I want you to think about this animal that lives in the ocean. An octopus. Okay, octopus, they have 8 legs. So just like an octopus has 8 legs, an octagon has 8 sides. So those are 2 little tricks to help you. Octagon, octopus, hexagon, and 6. All right, now, the reason I saved number 4 is because number 4, figures with 4 sides, we have several of those. They have their own special name. Okay, they are called quadrilaterals. All right, let's say that together because that's a big word. Quadrilaterals. And a lot of times whenever Mrs. Jones is using this, or especially writing it because it's so big, we may just use the abbreviation quad, Q-U-A-D. Okay, and it's all right to use that. Now, when you look at these 5 shapes, these are quadrilaterals. They're in the family quadrilaterals, and they have their own name. So it's kind of like, this is their last name, quadrilaterals, their family name. This is their first name. Just like Mrs. Jones is in a family that's Jones, but we have family members and we have our own name. All right, so we have a square, 4 sides, 4 corners, rectangle, 4 sides, 4 corners, a parallelogram, 4 sides, 4 corners, and a parallelogram is, to me, it's kind of like a rectangle with slanted sides. See how it is longer. They have the 2 parallel sides are longer, and then these 2 parallel sides are shorter, just like rectangle, too long, too short. Okay, then a rhombus, and a lot of times if you turn a rhombus this way, the word that we use a lot for this is a diamond, but the true math word is a rhombus. Now, a rhombus is also, I think of it as a square with slanted sides. Okay, all sides are going to be the same length. All sides are the same length on a square. And then the last one is the trapezoid. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, or 4 vertices. All right, so triangle, 3, quadrilaterals, 4. Let me just write that right there, 4. And we have these quadrilaterals. Pentagon is 5, hexagon is 6, and octagon is 8. All right, this is the end of Geometry Lesson 1, Part 1. And so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to shut this video down, start another one, and you're going to need your workbook, page 660. So get your workbook and start turning it to page 660, and I'll see you in just a moment.